Hi, everybody. Thank you for stopping by Living To Do's review of Married at First Sight, Season 15, Episode 15? My goodness, I didn't write it down. Before I get started with the review, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. So let's go ahead and get started with the review. Let's start with Lindy and Miguel. Basically, the episode started with the couple still at the retreat. In fact, still at the picnic tables after playing dodgeball. Lindy with her teammates talking about her marriage, and then Miguel and his teammates talking about their marriage. And basically, Lindy feels like she's being disrespected, and Miguel is telling his teammates that he was annoyed and he took it out on Lindy. Lindy says she hated every single moment of the retreat, which is crazy. She's just too extra, because the retreat was in honor of you, or to give you a prom, just you. It was in honor of you, so why did you hate every single moment of it? I know you got in a fight with Miguel, but she's too extra. Now, Miguel keeps questioning his relationship with Lindy because of her outburst, and everything else is good, but it just seems like she's a little too much when she talks, vocalizes her emotions. She's so animated and so extra with that, and it's almost like she's yelling at somebody, and I think she feels she needs to do that. And I think in this relationship, she's going to have to learn to compromise that. You being overly emotional, it doesn't sit right with Miguel. I think it makes him feel uneasy. Maybe it's the tone of the delivery of, what she's saying. And maybe she can learn a technique. And I think that's where couples counseling could honestly help them. Because they seem like, first of all, they're in the medical field. They seem like they're receptive to information. So I think before Miguel throws in the towel, that maybe he should try that and see if it will work for them. Because you don't have to say no on decision day. You can try to make it work after, and a divorce can still be on the table. It's just maybe you can just work at it more and not just give up because it's decision day. You can definitely go on past there. Now, one thing that happened is Miguel gave Lindy his insurance. I guess it's her insurance card came in the mail, and he gave it to her, and she was really excited. He was happy to give it to her, but he says now you can get hit by a car, because that was her whole reason, her argument for being on his insurance. What if she got hit by a car, and he has insurance to give and he wasn't giving it? So at one point in time, I guess he thought this relationship could go past 8 weeks if you're going to put her on your insurance. So that was a good thing. Now, they also had a discussion about names, her taking his name. And I know she's a doctor, and that might be, I don't know how that really works. If it's just a simple name change, paperwork, or does she have to go through something? Or does she just feels like she worked for that degree and she wants it to keep it under her name? I'm not sure, but she's going to hyphenate her name. I think she said her last name is Elway, and I think his is Santiago, so it'd be Lindy Elway Santiago. And I don't know how hyphenated names work. Can you use your maiden name, the name you earned your doctorate in, at work, and then you could just use for personal things, you can use your married name? I think people do that. That's also an option. And when they were talking about it, she was saying that, she's changing her name for him because she's happy with her name. And then he said something like, well, then keep it then. So then it made it, I think she took it like, if you're going to be that way, then just keep it. And, this marriage might end anyway. I think it made her feel not reassured that he doesn't mean by saying that he's going to say no on decision day. They had friends over to play Dungeons and Dragons, and personally, I can't. That game looked so boring. That interests somebody? I mean, there's something for everybody. I just don't get it. It's just me. They had their friends over. Lindy had her friend Gabby over, and I believe Gabby never played before. And Miguel had his female friend Frankie over. And they played the game, and afterwards, they took their friends aside privately, and they have a conversation. And Miguel basically says to his friend that Lindy gets upset when he questions the marriage. And Lindy was telling her friend Gabby that she's at her breaking point, that she can't be herself. Her friend gave her the advice as, if you can't be yourself, if you got to be a mouse in the relationship, then maybe he's not your person. And that's something too. Just because you were matched up, maybe it won't work. If it's going to be this much contention in a marriage, then let it go. If you can honestly come together and actively work on it, commit to working on it, give it some time, and be open to make changes to make it work. Do those compromises with open communication. If you can't do that, then definitely go. But I think they have half a chance, and they both just need to be willing to hear each other and compromise. And that was basically it for them. On to the next couple. Okay, the next couple is Kristen and Miguel. Not much happened with them, mainly because what's his name? Mitch. Mitch was at a conference for his job, and so he was away. They did talk on the phone. When they did, they showed us that Mitch said the best part, that being with Kristen was the best part of his weekend when they were at the retreat. They had a FaceTime date. When he came home, Kristen asked him about wearing his ring. And apparently he didn't wear the ring at the conference because I guess people at his job they don't know he's married. And he's very honest. He's like, there was more women than men there. He started singing karaoke. He started that up. They were up late drinking. There was a hot tub, and he was hung over the next day. And I guess there were like beach women there, beach looking girls there. And I think Kristen, even though she's really adult about it, even still, you don't want your husband in a hot tub full of women. And they don't know that he's not married for whatever reason. He says there's a big separation between his work life and his personal life. I don't know if he didn't tell them because of the job. Because of the show, or, he didn't want to have to explain probably that he's on a show or whatnot. But he knows he's married, and so you didn't have to be in the hot tub. You didn't have to do these things. You're newly married at that. It's just not a good look. How would you feel if your wife was in a hot tub full of men? I don't think he would like that. It's just that you know who you are. You know that you are committed to one woman, that you shouldn't be probably in a hot tub full of women. But he told her, he's very honest about it. So if he was to have an affair, he'd probably come home right away and tell her. He's very honest. They went out on a date surfing, and they took the dog, and Mitch surfed with the dog, and it was so cute. The dog looked like she was having fun, and Mitch said that surfing was like a marriage. That's a bunch of waves come at you one after one, but then after the break, there is a peacefulness. And I'm glad he sees it that way. I think there's hope for this guy. I didn't see it at the beginning of the show, but there's actually hope for Mitch. Okay, on to the next couple. Okay, the next couple is Stasha and Nate. Stasha and Nate go to Stasha's new home. We go take a look inside, and it is all white like her current home. Too white. Everything is just white. The walls are white, not much on the walls. And the floor, the whitest carpet, Nate pointed out. In fact, she wants you to wear socks on your feet, not even bare feet, because of the oil from your feet. She doesn't want to get in the carpet. Yeah, that is something else. Um, she's shopping. They go hardware shopping for their home, like the little handles for cabinets and things. And they're there, and Nate's kind of picking out stuff, and she does not really agreeing with it. And he was saying that I'll let you have 50% of the input of her house. It was just weird that he says, I'll let you have 50%. You don't own jack, and you're going to tell someone that you're going to let them do something in their house. They go out on a hike, and they're sitting down, and they're talking, and he feels vulnerable, he says, living in her house. Honestly, I think he's playing her. I think I never lost the notion that this man's a scammer. And even in the conversations with her having kids, he's being weird about it. Like he can't have fun with kids, that you just have to be a full-time parent and no fun. That doesn't make any sense. You see all these people living life out here, parents living life. There's babysitters, there's family. Maybe you don't travel right away when you have a baby. Maybe you wait till they're a little bit older. But there's still life to live. This is why I think he's scamming and playing with her mind. And she's thinking it's because he felt abandoned. Yeah, maybe, but I mean, he was. But if he was abandoned, I think he's using that to manipulate her some way, somehow. He was talking about if he gets kicked out of her house, if she would kick him out of her house, where would he go? I'm like, you said you made $150,000 a year. You could find a place. It wouldn't be difficult for you. So that, even though no one wants to be kicked out and looking for a new place to live, but the thing is, you can support yourself. And it's not like somebody who's just working, I don't know, just any old job, a regular old job, making, $50,000 a year. They might need to scramble. They can't get the first and last month payment together, but you could. So that's not really an excuse. In your abandonment issues, we learned that his dad was 36 when he met his mother, who was a lot younger, 23 and a virgin. I don't know what he was telling this to Stasha, and I guess I don't know why he was saying it. Something about kids. But his mother did leave him, maybe because she was young or whatnot, and he wants to overcompensate for the loss of a parent. However, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. I just think he's using that to get to manipulate her some way, somehow. And I don't know what he's doing exactly, but I just know he's up to no good. Okay, let's on to the last couple. Okay, the last couple is Justin and Alexis. Mainly what happened with this couple is that Justin went to pick up his dog Maya from the trainer and brought her home for, I don't know, a short period of time, because Justin's best friend, a guy named Chris, was coming over to pick up Maya. And what was sad about it is that he's going to take her, and he's going to be out of state. He lives 17 miles away. He kept saying, I guess, like coming down. So it's like he lives up north. He must live out Oregon, Washington, Utah, I don't know where, but the dog is going to be living there. And this guy drove down 17 hours to pick up the dog, and he has to drive 17 hours back. That's a good friend. And Justin made this decision based on him staying married to Alexis, saying yes on decision day, and he wanted to get an affirmation, a confirmation that this was so, and he sent her a text or something and asking her about this, and I think she said she's like 90% sure, and he just gave his dog away. He's like a child to him, and if you don't have it in your heart to say yes, then you should be adult enough to let him know. Don't, that's a big move. That man made a sacrifice to come down here, this long drive, 17 hours there and back. And if you're just playing games, like it's nothing, you don't even care. I think she's just, I don't know what she's doing. I don't know. I don't think she likes Justin. She's stringing him along. Why? I don't know. But that would be wrong if she did that. Now, the only thing else that happened that was interesting is that they broke off. Justin and Alexis met with Nate and Stasha separately. The girls were exercising, doing stretches in the house. I don't know if I see them as friends, but I definitely don't see Nate and Justin as friends. They were working out in the gym together and talking. After all the things that Nate has said about Alexis, I just don't see him having a closeness at all with Justin. It was just so interesting to see. That was totally forced and produced. But Justin, he was talking about his feelings, his perception of his marriage. Justin called her immature and a liar, and he believes that Alexis is playing him. And then Alexis says in a confessional that she's not sure if she can tolerate this for the rest of her life, using the word tolerate. I don't know about these two. I don't know. But that was it for this review. A lot didn't really go on. It definitely didn't need to be 2 hours. This was definitely an hour's worth of information, if that. But next week, it looks like maybe they won't be airing a regular episode, but airing previous couples, talking about the current couples, because it comes on the same time as Married at First Sight usually comes on. So I'm thinking we're not going to get another episode next week. I don't have that confirmed, but it just looks like that. But that's all for now. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And I thank you in advance. And I gotta go because I got living to do. Bye.